Aloha Aina, and welcome to Voices of Truth, one-on-one with Hawaii's future. Brought to you by the Kiwane Foundation. I'm Mehu Keikahu Cardwell, and this is a special version of Voices of Truth on the free Hawaii Television Broadcasting Network. We're here today with Andre Perez of Huipu. Andre, welcome.
Aloha, aloha Aina.
It's good to have you here. We wanted to have you here because you're fully involved in the Hawaiian independence movement. And we wanted to have you talk about what turned you on to that, because you're so into it and excited about it.
Well, I think part of the things that really gave me the consciousness are multiple events. Working on Kaho'olawe, being part of the cleanup, being part of the land management for the Kaho'olawe Island Reserve Commission, where I started to have started with a cultural consciousness. Another big factor that really got me more aware or got me more concerned was a trip to Aotearoa, where I was fortunate to participate in their largest hikoi, or protest march that they've had. And we marched with about 25,000 Maoris in support of their foreshore or ocean resources. But you know, just cumulatively, as things progressed in my life, I you know, got a whiff of American oppression and colonialism and suppression, and seeing how our people are being treated, seeing how our own people are treating our people. And I decided to try to get involved and make a difference, and having great mentors like Skippy and Kaleko Kaeo and Steve Tayama and Bumpy and Terry and Kikuni, and just really gave me a strong foundation and confidence in getting involved and voicing self-determination.
Yeah, Andre, what do you think the most important issue in the Hawaiian independence movement is today?
I think the most important issue right now is self-determination, is sovereignty. And I think it's important that we take this issue and bring it into our terms. We cannot allow self-determination and sovereignty, our sovereignty, to be defined on their terms, America's terms, the politicians, the power structure. We have to be careful to keep it on our terms and really establish how we want reconciliation, or where we want to go with respect to the illegal overthrow and subsequent occupation.
Okay, somebody who's watching this and says, boy, that sounds great to me, I'd like to do my small part. I want to get involved, but you know, I'm not really sure what to do. What would you say to them?
You know, at this point I would say contact the Huipu is a good place to start. www.huipu.org.
Say that one more time.
www.huipu.org.
Okay.
HUIPU.org.
Good.
And it's not the only place, but I think it's a good place to start, because the Huipu is a coalition of probably the majority of the sovereignty groups and individuals. So from there you can get involved, and if you don't already know the issues, learn the issues, and then speak out on them. Have a determination.
Have your own determination.
That's right. Determine for yourself.
Very good. What do you see as the future of Hawaii?
Tough question. Well, I see a long struggle ahead of us, but I have confidence that our people, the power of our Kanakas and the power of the kupuna that stand behind us, I think that we're going to find our freedom. Self-determination, independence, reconciliation, restitution, whatever you call it, cumulatively, I think it lends to a sense of control, self-control, and freedom. I think we're going to find that. But in order to do so, I think we got some work ahead of us.
And what kind of work is that?
I think one of the most important things we need to do right now as a people is unify, and stop talking about unifying, but making efforts and establishing a process as to how we're going to unify. There is the majority of the people, when they know the issue, they learn the history and understand the situation, come to the same conclusion. Independence is the only sense of self-determination that will work for us. Independence is the key to our solution. So we need to figure out amongst ourselves how we're going to do that on our terms.
What about identity, Hawaiian identity?
I think it's very important. I think that's the first step, is consciousness. Identity, self-concept, and Hawaiian cultural and political consciousness. And I don't think you can really separate the two. In today's world, being a cultural Hawaiian puts you into the political realm, whether you like it or not. And it's important, as Taiake Alfred says in his book Wasase, to ignore politics is like turning your back on a beast that's trying to kill you. We need to take control of our politics and be in control of our politics, you know, the politics that affect us, and make sure that it's on our terms and defined by us and vocalized by us.
So really, whether we like it or not, everything is political, and to be involved means to be involved in the political process one way or another.
That's right. Historically, you know, I mean, there's politics in families, you know?
Yeah.
Politics is about, you know, vying for control and influence and input, and being able to have some sense of control over your destiny. I mean, we can't turn our back on politics and say, well, I'm apolitical, or I don't want to be involved in politics. You're in politics. America's presence here makes our daily lives political.
So in other words, if you're breathing, you're in politics.
You're in politics.
Yeah.
To me, we need to understand, it's not about practicing politics, it's what kind of politics you practice, yeah? And what kind of political consciousness you have. As one of my mentors taught me, political consciousness is knowing what side of the fence you're on, you know?
Yes.
And that goes hand in hand with class consciousness by knowing who's on that side with you.
Yeah. Andre, what do you think it's going to take to get the United States to the table to speak, you know, equal to equal on this?
Well, I think it's important to know that, you know, to realize and acknowledge the United States is the power structure, you know, and we're not going to force the United States to do anything. But I think what we need to do is as the kupuna say, konani, yeah, the game konani. We need to outmaneuver and outthink them. And I think part of the process is we need to, in a way, shame America into doing the right thing, and also present it in a manner that tells the United States this is an opportunity for the United States to show that they practice justice and that they practice what they preach. The United States was founded on oppression and independence, you know, from oppression. So we can, to me, shame the United States into doing the right thing. This is their chance to show the world that Hawaii can be a model to show the world that the United States can practice justice and can practice pono behavior.
So we have to remind the United States that they have to practice what they preach. They have to walk their talk that they tell everybody else to do, and yet they don't.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And, you know, sometimes my family and friends, you know, they can't believe how we're so political, and how can you dare ask for independence or fight for sovereignty, and it's become this taboo thing. And the more we buy into those mores or things that say, hey, it's wrong to fight for your self-determination, the further it's going to be out of our reach. Yeah. But we have to understand that how do you think America got their freedom? How do you think America was created? America was founded on fighting for independence from England.
Yes.
And the only honest way that America can celebrate their bicentennial and celebrate their independence from England is by not standing in the way of our right to be free.
Yes, yes, very good, very well said. Andre, thank you very much for being on our show. Words of wisdom, words of motivation, and everybody out there, please take heed of this and find your part to do. This has been a special edition of Voices of Truth, one-on-one with Hawaii's Future on the Free Hawaii Television Broadcasting Network, brought to you by the Kiwane Foundation. I'm Ehu Keikahu Cardwell. And until next time, ahui ho!
Hui ho!